afternoon everybody, welcome back to the channel, living La Dolce Vita. What day are we today? Tuesday, the 3rd of September, something like that. I think that might be my wedding anniversary. Anyway, so right, we're out in the garden obviously, as you can see behind me. However, I'm working on the outhouse really, on the new shower and toilet. So I'll just turn the camera around and show you what I'm up to today. Okay, so we're on the outside of the window, outside of the outhouse I should say, shower room with the window. So I've taken the double glazing glass out. That was a fiddle and a half, I gotta be honest. Had to do quite a bit of damage to get it out. However, it's out. So obviously I don't think they're designed to push in, but not to get out. Okay, so what am I going to do with so obviously I've got to fit the fan into this space, the extractor fan. So obviously I've been giving it some thought as to the best way of doing it, and I think I've come up with a cunning plan, as Baldrick used to say. So I don't know if obviously you can see, so the depth of, you can do it one-handed, from there to there is approximately 50 mil, and guess what the depth is? Oh, well, it's just over, but guess what the depth is from there, that inside face, more or less in there, to the outside here. Yes, you've guessed it. It's the same depth as the fan. Same depth. I don't know if you can see it. So I know the fan's not going to go around this way, I know that, but just to show you the depth. So that just coincides with the back edge here. Right. So obviously I didn't plan that. It just seemed to work out that way. Unbelievable. Whether they've designed them that way thinking that people will cut a hole in a piece of glass or something, I have no idea. But it, great, isn't it? So then I had to think of a way, how am I going to mount it? But I can't get a hole in the glass. Oh, well, it'd be very awkward to try and cut a hole in the glass. So I thought, right, okay, piece of wood in here maybe. And I thought, I don't know, the trouble is with wood, it gets wet and all the rest of it. So it just so happened I found a couple of pieces of this galvanized metal, which I'll explain where I got that from. So, and it just so happens that it's the right size. It's bigger than this hole, the two pieces. So the plan is to cut a piece. The plan is to cut a piece to fit inside that space there, and I got that grip fill. Grip fill will do that, I'm sure. Then I shall then I've a piece on the outside then, so obviously there'll be a void between the two pieces, which I may fill up with some foam eventually. I'll see how it goes. Now then, you may not be able to see it, but there's a bit of a lip on this edge here which facilitates putting the trim in for the glass. And then I thought, so again, trying to be too clever, I thought, I'd cut a piece just a bit bigger than this hole, so it sits behind this lip. Unfortunately, I can't get it in. If I could get it, push it in from the back side and push it in like this one will, then great, but I can't do it. And there's no, I tried all ways, but no. No, it's not going to go. So, although this is the piece I've just cut for the outside, it's I'm now going to stick a piece on the outside face. I'll clean all this up, of course, give it a bit of a key, and then I'll use the grip fill then to stick a piece of this piece, not this piece, but the other piece to the outside, and then obviously then I'm going to cut 2 holes in the 2 sheets of steel, or galvanized steel, whatever. So that's the plan for today. Cut a hole in the centre. This piece now I'm going to cut down a bit smaller to fit inside here, and then the other piece to fit on this. So that's what I'm going to do shortly. Now you may be wondering where all this came from, because it's amazing, you know, I hoard stuff like a lot of people, and I think, oh, that will come handy later. Now this was used to go between the wood burner and the chimney void to seal it off when I did the front room. So that's where the chimney, the stack went through, and I kept the 2 bits of metal. I just chucked them down the bottom there, I think, for no particular reason, and I'm glad I did now, because obviously I can use this, and this has been sat out in the elements for a good 2 or 3 years. Standard rust a bit there, but so it's obviously managing the weather. So whether I'll paint it after, I don't know. So as I say, this piece has got to go on the inside of the window, and this piece on the outside. So I'm just going to measure up, cut this with the angle grinder, and we'll go from there. Okay, so that's a bit of time lapse showing you me cutting this piece of metal to fit on the outside. I've run the angle grinder over the edge to give it a bit of a key, so that the grip fill can grip a bit better. And then this will then, obviously I've got to key up this bit of plastic as well, just to give it something to grip to. Then that's going to sit on the outside like so, with a hole in the middle, of course. I'll probably get a bit of paint it white, just to hopefully blend in with the surroundings. Anyway, I'll worry about that later. So that piece is ready for that at some point when I cleaned it all up, etc. So the next thing I'm going to do now is cut this down a bit smaller to fit on the inner part. I won't film that because it's basically the same as the other bit. Okay, welcome back. So I just cut this piece now. I don't think it matters which way around it goes. Right, so just, obviously it's going to go the other way. But I've keyed it up now for the mastic. The these have to work. So there we are. That's going to sit on in there. That'll do for that. On the inside then I'll paint it white. Then the other piece then will, I've cut it larger than that. Let me just go and get that. Okay, so that piece then will sit on the outside like that. Yep, might do it. No, the only thing is, oh my I going to hold that in place until the adhesive sets? I'll worry about that later. Anyway, that's basically what's going to happen. So the next thing I need to do now is find the centre of this, trace a hole out to fit that. That'll go through on both pieces, and then yeah, that's going to be tricky. Never mind, we'll sort that out. How I don't know, if I film it, I'll put on time lapse. Anyway, bye for now. Okay, we'll try again. I did a bit of videoing and obviously I hadn't switched it on. Does help. So that's what I was explaining, was how I came to decide on how to cut this hole out. So thankfully there was I had a disc. This disc was enabled enough to just use on an angle to cut in, get the worst of it out, as you probably saw on the film. Excuse me. And then once all that worked the metal out, once that was out, I then used this tool, which is used for raking out between bricks, the mortar between bricks, so you can repoint. And I thought to myself, well, it's on its last legs anyway, so I thought I got nothing to lose by using this tool, which, as it turned out, worked quite well. It's done quite a bit of damage to it, but it survived enough for me to do this job. Okay, so all I gotta do now is, train's going past now. So all I gotta do is get the file on the edges here, just to get the burrs off, etc. So how did I mark the hole? Well, I found the center, did a horizontal, and then I discovered that the base of this adhesive pot was just the right size for what I needed to give a hole, plus a little bit of leeway either way, for final fixing. And then I put a horizontal line on the base of that, marked up the edge on just here. I don't know if you can see both sides. Put those marks on the horizontal, and then measured from both ends to get it central that way, and cut the hole out. Well, that's the easiest way, I don't know, but that's the way I've done it. I did try these tapes, which actually would have worked. That was slightly bigger, slightly smaller than that, but slightly bigger than the fan housing, so that possibly would have worked, but it didn't give me enough gap in case I needed it. That was spot on the size, believe it or not. Anyway, opted for that. That seems to work. So what I've done in here now is I've cleaned all around the frame inside of there, washed it all out, ready. I'm going to use a bit of that frame cleaner now to just get any possible traces of grease off. I've got a nice adhesion, and there's no reason why I can't put those pieces of metal in, fixed, and then I can go from there. Then I've got to think about getting the wiring to come up now, get some wiring up to the loft and to this. What I shall do, I'll give a bit of slack on the wire, simply because I can then, in the summer, I can still use the window, so that will give me enough place. I can use that in the summertime rather than use the fan all the time, if that makes sense. Right, that's what I thought. That should work. Okay, so welcome back everybody. So I'll just show you how it looks in place. I've only just stuck it on, so I've got some tape there just to hold it in place to stop it hopefully dropping down, which it was doing under its own weight, unfortunately. So obviously I'll be able to clean this up after, hopefully. So it's more or less flush the outside. I'll see if I can find some sort of grill or something just to protect that a bit. We'll see. Maybe I'll find something. And then on the inside, of course, that's what it looks like. Oh, this is only loose at the moment, of course, so I'll fix that in permanently later on. I'm trying to be clever by getting it so that the mastic would be squeezed on the other side, so I could then backfill this with some grout. But it didn't. It did the opposite, in fact. Yeah, made a mistake. Never mind. It'll clean up. I'll just run the Stanley knife around it. it'll clean back. And then I'll just, well, they probably won't need it, but I'll put a bit of silicone around. And I'll say this will then, I'll fix that in more permanently. Run a wire then from here up. It's a shame I couldn't have done it central, but there we are. That's because I didn't set the tiles up right, did I? If I'd have started with them, that joint, middle for diddle, which is what I think I should have done. But there we are. So the joint is there, the cable will go up there eventually, and I'll leave a bit of slack on it so that I can open this window in the summer then. Right, I think I'll call it a day there because I'm not sure how long this one's going to be. Maybe a bit too long, but right, there we are. Okay everybody, see you on the next one. Bye for now.